Ah, now these pictures, I really enjoyed taking these pictures. I found them quite intriguing because the house is empty one side, but the house next door was lived in. So they lived, you know, it's lived in there, but this was empty. Look, you can see it's bricked up, and they used to hang their washing out.
Is this because the houses behind them have been demolished, so they didn't really have a back garden?
Yeah, well, it could have been, but I think they were just making some sort of, maybe the way the sun shone and it helped dry their clothes really quickly, but it was the first time I'd ever seen anything like that. And so I snapped a whole series of those pictures. It's also got quite a sad portrayal, and look, you've got your little Mickey Mouse towel and that, but it's just all boarded up, and there's obvious someone still lives there, but look, these are all just masonry bricks in the windows. All of these houses are all boarded up. They've all been demolished now. And it's got here the sign, Play Street. 8 a.m. to sunset, except for access. And what that was like, you know, a warning to the drivers that, you know, there's a lot of children live here and they play here, so drive carefully. But there's no children there anymore. I think as the scheme rambles on, everything gets more intense. To the point where in this, you know, present day, I walk out and there's always machinery grinding, there's always lorries rumbling, men in their fluorescent jackets. So 2008, when the very profitable city and all the men in suits and all those that have come to put their money, invest in Liverpool, are having a great capital of culture, this was happening on the outskirts of the city centre. Buildings being demolished. Beautiful houses that could have been saved, they're going to demolish them. This is how personal it gets when you watch the demolition and you watch the insides of people's homes become exposed. Even down to something like this where they've got their little wall plaques, look. And that's like, it's very Victorian, isn't it? It's very old and very exquisite, I think. You know, don't get me wrong, people are saying, well, you know, you've got to move with the times and renew and build better houses and that. But my questions are that with the amount of homelessness we've got, why in some areas, for instance, one block area, they were knocking down 900 houses to build 550. This is one of my favourite pictures. It's got quite striking colours with the maroon and that against the kind of rumbling dark sky, and, you know, and the single lamppost still there, still signs of life that used to be there. But you can tell its days are pretty much numbered. So this is on Dorothy Street, which is now Dorothy Drive, remember?
Oh, yeah.
So all the new houses are built here now. So this was before they were built, but Bellway, this is the most they can do for us. We apologise for any inconvenience caused by these building operations. This picture, I think I put it into some sort of competition, if I remember rightly, and it got good feedback in the sense of, like, you know, they were really impressed with the story it told, like the dereliction and all that, and then look, the little child's scooter. I feel as if I almost dream empty houses now.
I think some of the replacements that have been provided for traditional terrace streets are inferior. They don't provide that common shared space that you get straight away in a good street. So I do regret the slow attrition of the communities that has taken place as these streets have been gradually emptied. I think that is one of the most cruel aspects of what we've seen. People have watched it's been like a siege. People have watched their community bleed to death, and eventually many of them have given up and said, okay, take the house, we'll give up. So the government has persisted with this. I don't know how people with big ideas and big budgets think. They sometimes people say, well, we've started, so we'll finish, even though a critical analysis of what they're doing would show that the cure is now much worse than the disease. Well, this scheme has been funded by the government and driven by the local authority, Liverpool City Council. So there have always been two different participants in this. And between them, I think they've treated the people, particularly in the Welsh streets, very badly, and they've failed to consider alternatives which could provide an everybody wins solution for the people who wanted new houses, as well as the people who wanted to keep the streets that they love to live in. People's willingness to compromise was being disregarded. Instead, there was a powerful, ruthless council machine that was going to say, this is what's happening, just get used to it.